You went from one employee, and we talked about not becoming a slave to the business, to 300 employees. What's that? I mean, especially in our community, the retention process, right? We've talked about this, trying to hire the right people and trying to give back to the community and making sure that, we're giving opportunities to people that look like us. What is that like for your business? Obviously, going from 1 to 300, the retention process.
It depends on which business we're speaking of, right?
Yeah.
Because what day-to-day looks like at BTST is completely different than what the day looks like at Selfish Beauty. Our employees, we try to keep happy by their commission, honestly. They're commission-based, and they are technically 1099 employees, so they like to feel like they're self-employed and they're not employees of us, when at the end of the day, they're still under the same umbrella. But we always treat everyone with respect. We try to be really nice. We know that the field that we're in, which is the beauty industry, you could go anywhere. You could work anywhere. You could go to a suite. You could leave us at any moment. So we try to create more of a family culture. We are all a big family. We look out for each other, and we know that, we could go anywhere else, but we're happy here. So that's kind of the culture that we create at Selfish, but BTST, I guess it's similar.
Why would we even say as selfish? It's different. It's tough still. Retention is tough because while the pandemic, it put a lot of people out of work, but it also motivated and created a bunch of entrepreneurs at the same time, right? And definitely a lot of work from home people. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get people to come in the office. So retention, you got to be flexible, first of all, right? Yeah. Because some people just don't want to come back in. But in that entrepreneurship mentality, people are like, hey, I can be an entrepreneur. I've taken this and exaggerated it, right? People are like, hey, I can be an entrepreneur. I can be a nail tech. I can go open my own suite. You can, but can you generate your own referrals as well? Because what you try to do is take our clients and go open your own. That's not true entrepreneurship in this case.
And then they put CEO in front of their name.
Exactly. So retention is hard, especially when people have all of these options, which is great. Optionality is great. Entrepreneurship is great. Like we're preaching like, hey, you might not want to be a slave to that job, right? But it also creates a vulnerability in the market of like hiring and maintaining people. So what you have to do, like she was saying, is create a great environment where people feel valued, they feel respected, and that they feel compensated appropriately for their job, but they also believe in the mission and what you're doing, right? So a lot of the staff we have, they will run through a wall for BTSD or even Black Swan, right? So they believe that Black Swan, we had people, Black Swan was set up where it was just, hey, for everybody, right? And it was urban, but it was for everybody. I guess people thought Black Swan meant Black Swan, right? So they're like, yo, everybody that we hired was all black, right? I mean, all shades of black, all styles of black, everything, right? And so, but the reason why that was is because they believe like, yo, this is a black-owned restaurant in Harbor East. They embodying the culture. It's elevated. It's still sophisticated. I want to be a part of that. People like, man, there's 3 beautiful women that are running Selfish Beauty. They're cool. They're business women. They're successful. I want to be a part of that. I want to be in that environment. And the same thing with BTST. They believe in the work that we're doing and the commitment that we have to these communities, and they really want to be a part of that as well. But I would say, you got to stay flexible and create these work environments. Okay, we know that that's the threat. So how do we create these work environments that make people feel as independent as possible, but still provide the guardrails and the support institution?